Okay. Good day to everyone. On behalf of my team members, Darwin, Nelly, Isha, and HR, I would like to thank you for joining us for our NGM 313 organizational behavior presentation. For our project, we selected the movie or review option, and the film we have chosen to analyze the heartwarming and powerful biographical drama, The Pursuit of Happiness, directed by Gabriel Muccino and released in 2006. The film is based on the true story of Chris Gardner, a struggling salesman who overcomes poverty and homelessness to eventually to become successful. Successful. And what makes this film is not only inspiring but also incredibly relevant to the subject of organizational behavior is how deeply touches on the themes like motivation, perseverance, resilience, goal setting, and also social inequality. These concepts are not abstract in the story. They are lived, felt, and fought for every day by the main character. Today, our team will take you on a comprehensive journey through the film. We will start with a summary of the movie and as exploration of the main characters. Then we will dive into the core issues that the film presents and link to real-world OB concepts using theoretical frameworks. Lastly, we will each share our individual reflections on what this course and this film has taught us. Let us begin by looking closely at the plot of this inspiring film. That's all.
The Pursuit of Happiness. It's not just a film, it's a human story. A raw and honest look at what it means to fight for survival, for dignity, and for the people we love. The story follows Chris Gardner, a man living in San Francisco in the early 1980s who invests his entire savings in portable bone density scanners. These medical devices were a luxury item, not a necessity, which makes them difficult to sell. As the devices begin to pile up unsold, Chris' financial situation worsens up as day goes on. He then becomes unable to pay his rent and fall behind on taxes. His relationship with his wife Linda begins to deteriorate due to the ongoing financial pressures. Eventually, decides to leave Chris, moving to New York and leaving their son Christopher Jr. in his custody. Chris is now a single father, jobless, and on the brink of homelessness. Despite all of this, Chris remains focused on his dream to become a stockbroker. After a chance to encounter in a taxi where he impresses a brokerage firm manager, Jade Twister, by solving a Rubik's Cube, Chris lands an interview and later an unpaid internship at Dean Witter Reynolds. However, there's a catch. Only one intern will be offered a full-time job at the end of this 6-month period. With no salary, no savings, and a child to feed, Chris must survive while competing with well-connected, well-dressed, and well-rested candidates. Chris and his son are evicted from their apartment and have to move from shelters to subway bathrooms and even churches just to find a place to sleep. Yet, through all of this, Chris never gives up. He shows up every day, dresses professionally, even without proper resources, and makes more cold calls than anyone else in the office rather than Chris Gardner. He shortens his bathroom breaks, skips lunch, and also works tirelessly off. Eventually, after months of hardship, Chris is, Chris is chosen as the only intern to be offered a full-time job. The moment he is told he is hired, tears well up in his eyes, not just because he got a job, but because he finally sees the light after a long, dark tunnel. He walks out into the street, blending in with the crowd, but now with a quiet victory in his heart. This journey is a stunning representation of resilience, love, and the human spirit, and that's why we have chosen it as the focus of our main project that we are currently working on.
One, two, three.
Okay, so let us take a look at character analysis. Let us now take a closer look at the main character, as they are central to both the emotional narrative and the organizational behavior theme that film so powerfully illustrate. First and foremost is Chris Gardner, played brilliantly by Will Smith. Chris is more than just protagonist, he is the film emotional core. He is a father, a dreamer, a realist, and a fighter. What makes Chris' character so compelling is how authentically he reflects the emotional and psychological toll of economic hardship while still embodying hope and determination. He is intelligent and resourceful, yet keeps throwing obstacles in his path. What sets him apart is not talent but his attitude toward adversity. He refused to let his circumstances define him. This character is a mirror for many who struggle quietly but never stop trying. Next is Christopher Jr., played by Jaden Smith. Despite being a child, Christopher's present is deeply symbolic. He represents hope, innocence, and the reason why Chris keeps going. Throughout the film, Christopher shows extraordinary maturity. He doesn't complain even when he is made to sleep in the train station, bathroom, or crowded shelters. He trusts his father and follows him without question. This trust is what fools Chris. It is a silent contract between a father and his son that no matter what happens, they will face it together. The bond between the two characters is not just touching, it reflects the powerful emotional relationship and motivating behavior, a key concept in OB. The third central the third central character is Linda Gardner, played by Tandy Newton. Linda is a woman worn down by the grinding weight of poverty. She is tired, frustrated, and emotionally drained. Her decision to leave Chris may seem heartless on the surface, but it is a reaction many people have under prolonged financial and emotional stress. Linda's character shows the fragility of relationship under pressure and the sacrifices people make whether they stay or walk away. Each of these characters, through their emotional depth and responses to challenges, illustrate key psychological and organizational behavior themes that we will now explore in more depth.
Okay, next we move to core issue and critical analysis. Project Awareness is about life, but it also talk about problem that many people face. This problem include motivation, perseverances, poverty, and homelessness, being a good parenthood, social inequality, and the American dream. The first big message is about motivation and never give up. Chris is motivated by two things: his love for his son and his belief in himself. He keeps trying even when life is very hard. He stays strong and focused. This shows a strong message. If you work hard, you will success. But this message is not always true. Many people work hard but still cannot success because a bigger problems like no access to school, no money for healthcare, or no help from others. Chris had some change many people do not get. Next, the movie show poverty and homelessness. Chris do not become homelessness all of the sudden. It happens slowly. He misses a tax payment, then rent, then he and his son get kicked out of their home. One very sad part is when they sleep in bedroom at train station. This show the poverty is not just about having no money but also no safety and no comfort. Other important point is single parenthood. Chris is both a father and a provider. Even though he has many problems, he still takes care of his son with love. This shows the single parents, especially black fathers, can be strong and caring, but the movie do not show how tired and lonely Chris must have. Many single parents feel this way, especially if they don't have help. The movie also talk about social inequality. At the office, Chris is the only black man in a group of rich white interns. He wears old clothes and take the bus while others drive. This shows that not everyone start life with the same way. The movie do not talk much about racist or rich versus poor problems. It shows that hard work can fix this thing, but this not always true. Finally, the movie talk about the American dream, the idea that anyone can success if they try hard. Chris' story show the dream coming true, but we must remember that his story is special. Many people try just as hard and still do not success. With bigger change in the system, this dream will not come true for anyone. In the end, the movie is very inspiring. It shows how strong people can be, but we must also think about how the world works and how people are given more change than others.
Okay, let's now link the inspiring narrative of the pursuit of happiness to organizational behavior theories. Focusing on the three main concepts we choose. First, resilience, two, motivation, and third, goal setting. Each of these is beautifully and painfully demonstrated in Chris Gardner's journey, providing rich ground for OB analysis. We begin with resilience, the capacity to recover from adversity and continue pursuing goals in the face of hardship. According to Lutyens, resilience is a psychological resource that enables individuals to thrive under pressure. Chris exemplifies this from the very beginning. After failing to sell his bone density scanners, facing eviction and becoming homeless, he does not spiral into despair. Instead, he developed strategies to stay afloat, selling the scanners one at a time, finding new places to sleep, and never missing a day of his unpaid internship. What's remarkable is that his resilience is not external. No one is there to catch him when he falls. His strength is entirely intrinsic, built from his unwavering love for his son and his personal code of perseverance. From an OB standpoint, Chris' resilience highlight how positive psychological capital, PsyCap, comprising hope, efficiency, resilience, and optimism, can contribute to performance in high-stress work environment. Lutyens found that employees with high level of PsyCap are more productive, adaptable, and satisfied at work. Even though Chris is not yet employed, his internship mirrors a real-world competitive organizational setting, and his performance prove how resilient can drive above average output. Next, we explore motivation, which is at the heart of OB and central to Chris' behavior. Motivation theory is divided into intrinsic and extrinsic forms. As per Decky and Ryan, self-determination theory, intrinsic motivation arises from internal goals, such as personal growth, meaning, or satisfaction, while extrinsic motivation is linked to external rewards, such as money or recognition. Chris is motivated by both. Intrinsically, he is driven by the desire to provide a better life for his son and by the belief that he is capable of more than his circumstances suggest. This internal drive pulls him through unpaid work, hunger, and sleep deprivation. Extrinsically, he is motivated by the promise of a high-paying job and financial stability. A key scene that reflects this is when he solved the Rubik's Cube to impress the brokerage manager. Here, he used both his cognitive abilities and his social skills to create opportunity. His action is calculated driven by a clear goal and expect outcome. This leads us to goal setting theory by Locke and Latham. They argue that specific challenges goals when accepted and accompanied by feedback lead to higher performance. Chris embodies this model completely. His overarching goal is to secure a full-time job, but he breaks it down into sub-goals. Dress well despite poverty, be on time every day, make more calls than his colleague, and absorb every piece of knowledge he can from the firm. He does not just have goals, he measures them. He tracks how many calls he makes, how many scanners he sells, and how well is progressing in the internship. This mirrors the feedback loop discussed by Locke and Latham, where goal clarity and feedback together enhance performance. Chris' commitment to his goal is absolute, and this is what sets him apart. What is perhaps most telling from an OB lens is how Chris' personal and professional goals become aligned. His success at work is not just about income, it's about reclaiming his dignity and ensuring his son's future. This alignment strengthens his motivation and explains his exceptional resilience under pressure. So, in essence, the pursuit of happiness is a living case study of obituaries. It brings to life the models we learn in textbooks, but in the form of human struggle, emotion, and determination.
As a team, we spend time discussing the core messages of this film and how they relate to real world issues and organizational challenges. Here are some of the key takeaways we want to share. We all agree that motivation and perseverance are beautifully portrayed in the film. Chris' journey shows that motivation alone isn't enough. People also need to access to resources, mentorship, and opportunities. We live in a society where many talented individuals never get a chance to prove themselves simply because they start from behind. We believe that organizations have a role to play in a leveling the playing field through inclusion, equitable hiring, and leadership development programs. On the issue of poverty and homelessness, we found the film both moving and challenging. It creates empathy, yes, but it also romanticizes the struggle to some degree. Poverty is not just a phase to be endured and then overcome. It can be a permanent trap for many. Our team believes that systematic solutions like better social safety nets, housing assistance, and fair wages are just as important as personal effort. When it comes to single parenthood, we admire how the film portrayed Chris as loving, present, and competent father. This counters harmful stereotypes, particularly around black fathers, who are often misrepresented. At the same time, we felt the film didn't fully explore the emotional and mental toll of solo parenting. In the real world, no one should have to do it all alone. Societal support from mental health services to affordable childcare is crucial. In terms of social inequality, the film touches on it subtly, but we felt more could have been done. Chris' success story is amazing, but what about all others who didn't get picked for the job? Success shouldn't depend on luck or exceptional talent alone. We believe that OB as a field must look beyond individual behavior and consider structural barriers that impact performance and well-being. Lastly, regarding the American dream, our view is nuanced. Yes, the dream is beautiful, but it should not blind to us inequality, privilege, and systematic injustice. Instead of saying, if Chris did it, anyone can, we should ask, what can we do that so that more people can succeed, not just few? We believe that's a more just and inclusive approach to success, whether in society or in organizations. So next, we move on to the next part, which is we will share our individual reflections. So each member will share our individual reflection, starting from me. I believe that this course helped me see leadership not just as a position, but as a mindset. The pursuit of happiness taught me that perseverance is key, but MGM 313 taught me that effective leaders build systems that support others. I want to be that kind of leader, compassionate, strategic, and also inclusive.
From this subject, I learned the power of emotional intelligence. Watching Chris manage his emotions, remain calm under pressure, and make decisions out of love, not fear, really inspired me. I hope to carry that lesson forward in both my personal life and my future career as well.
So next is me. In my opinion, this course taught me that motivation is complex and it's not just about money or promotion, it's about meaning and purpose. Seeing how Chris never lost sight of his why reminded me that when we are deeply connected to our goal, we can overcome almost anything.
For me, this subject and this film made me reflect on resilience in life and in work. There will always be setback, but resilience is not just surviving; it's adapting and learning from those setback. I want to strengthen the quality in myself moving.
So my reflection, the biggest takeaway for me is about goal setting and focus. Chris did not multitask or seek short-term wins. He committed fully to one goal and he succeeded. MGM 3113 taught me how to set goals that are smart and align with my values, and this movie showed me why that matters.
Okay.
Now that we have each shared our personal reflections, it's important to take a step back and look at the broader picture. How can the lessons from the pursuit of happiness and the concepts of organizational behavior be applied in real life, especially in the workplace? This part of our presentation aims to connect the dots between what we have learned in class, what we have seen in the movie, and how we can bring that knowledge into practice in our own professional journeys. Organizational behavior is not just a subject confined to lectures or textbooks. It is a living, breathing discipline that applies to every group we are part of, whether it's a small business, a multinational corporation, a non-profit organization, or even a classroom or a sports team. The behaviors, attitudes, motivation, and interaction we observe in the workplace are directly influenced by OB principles. Even the story of the Chris Gardner serves as a vivid, emotionally charged example of what it means to navigate an environment full of pressure, limited resources, uncertainty, and even hope. Many employees around the world face similar challenges every day in their life, though perhaps not as extreme. Understanding OB allows us to support those individuals and improve organizational outcome at the same time. One of the key concepts we explore is resilience, which is incredibly valuable in today's work environment. With the rise of economic instability, job automation, and post-pandemic uncertainty, employees are often expected to adapt quickly, learn new skills, and even remain productive under stress or even pressure. Chris Gardner's story is a reminder that resilience is not just an individual trait. It is something that leaders and managers can foster in others. For instance, organizations can build resilient teams by encouraging open communication, providing mental health resources, offering mentorship programs, and even recognizing small wins. A resilient workforce is not only more adaptable but also more committed and innovative. If Chris had not had even a small window of opportunity through this internship, his resilience might have gone unnoticed. Organizations must create those windows for everyone. Another major takeaway from both the film and our OB studies is the role of motivation, both intrinsic and extrinsic. In workplace today, too much focus is often placed on extrinsic rewards like bonuses, promotions, and even recognitions. However, as we saw in Chris' case, what drove him was deeply personal and internal. The desire to give his son a better life, to feel proud of his achievements, and to gain control over his future. Leaders need to understand what truly motivates their employees. Applying these theories like self-determination theory, we know that autonomy, purpose, and competence are critical in sustaining motivation. Employers should therefore not just assign tasks but empower individuals by involving them in decision making, recognizing their skills, and even linking their roles to meaningful outcomes. Goal setting, our third core OB topic, is a concept that translates directly into high performance work practices. Chris Gardner's success was not accidental, it was the result of clear, challenging, and structured goals. He set personal milestones for himself even no one was watching or regarding him. In organization, effective goal setting improves clarity, focus, and even accountability. Managers should be trained in using SMART goals, which is specific, measurable, achievable, and even relevant. In providing regular feedback, which, according to Latham, enhances motivation and also commitment. More importantly, goal setting should only happen at the top level. Everyone from the interns to executives should have the opportunity to set and review their goals, creating a culture of growth. Lastly, the pursuit of happiness invites us to reflect on the social responsibility of organizations. Not every talented person gets the opportunity to succeed. Discrimination, inequality, and systemic bias still prevent many people, especially from marginalized communities, from advancing. As future leaders, we must be aware of these invisible barriers and work to remove them. This includes hiring practices that are inclusive, performance assessments that are fair, and even opportunities for development that reach everyone, not just the most privileged. Organizational behavior gives us the tools to build fairer systems, not just the stronger ones.
Okay, to conclude, the pursuit of happiness is more than just a feeling. It is a lesson in life, in leadership, and in organizational behavior. It gave us an emotional connection to theories we have learned in this course. like resilience, motivation, and also goal setting. But more importantly, it is challenged us to think critically about privilege, opportunity, and fairness. As future professionals, we hope to carry these lessons into our careers, not just succeed individually, but to build environments where others can succeed too. We believe that organizational behavior is not just about productivity, it's about humanity and how we understand and support each other at work and also in life. Thank you for watching our presentation. We hope this review gave you insight not only into the film but also into how organizational behavior concepts truly come alive in our daily lifestyle and also our work lifestyle. Thank you very much.